We are broadcasting live from the Intercontinental Hotel on a number of channels, ZRA TV. On radio, we're live on Hot FM, we're live on Power FM, we're live on other stations countrywide. And at this moment, we will go into the feedback on the three questions that have been asked. Honorable Minister.
Thank you. I'll ask ZRA to talk on the fast track that Mr. Nyasulo asked regarding SMEs. But let me address Mark O'Donnell. And addressing Mark O'Donnell, I'm addressing all of you. Because this is important. The question he's asked is very important. We are not going back to sales tax in the manner that was introduced in the past. We're going back to a hybrid of sales tax and VAT. But the time we were introducing value-added tax, tell me what value was being added in Zambia? Zilch. How do you have a value-added tax when there's no value addition? That's how we have gone for a hybrid, where we are protecting local value addition whilst getting rid of those anomalies that were in value-added tax. This is a hybrid. This is not sales tax per se. It's actually goods and services tax. So if you read the law, you will see what we're trying to do. Protect value addition and local industry whilst ensuring that those anomalies that were in VAT are tackled. That's what we're doing. And I really urge you, all of you, business people, and I really want to urge you to read what this sales tax is doing. It's really protecting local industry whilst ensuring that we get rid of those anomalies. The bill has gone first reading, yes. There's first reading, the second reading, there's third reading. This is third reading. And in that process, it's consultative. Some of you will be called to Parliament. That's what we're doing. It's a process. It's a process. And that process is taking account of. It doesn't mean the bill has passed. It means first reading, we have informed the public that this law is coming into play. And at committee stage, you will be consulted. I have decided to consult you even before we get to committee stage, so we can refine sales tax. And I want it refined because I want you to buy into this sales tax, because it is for the good of all of us. It's for the good of all of us. If there's anything detrimental, that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm going to every single province to ensure that I get the feedback. This is not sales tax of the past. And this is not VAT as was brought here by IMF. This is hybrid. This is hybrid. And we believe, and to be honest with you, the feedback I'm getting from other countries, they're saying, if this works in Zambia, we're going to go the same. When you go to South Africa now, do you get your VAT as you used to get in the past? No! Even they are rethinking. So we have to think together. And this is why I'm here today. Because I need your input. And yes, I am at first reading. Second reading, third reading. It's going to go in Parliament with your input. Thank you.
A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I ask Shuko Moses to just comment on this fast tracking of refunds?
Thank you very much for that question. From the Zambia Revenue audit point of view is that we close off the VAT as quickly as possible. So we have resources in place. This year we recruited additional staff to ensure that all those outstanding audits are undertaken and that legitimate refunds as well said are paid. So that we are looking at it. We shall ensure that we don't keep the refunds for too long, but we shall audit them and audit them very fast. Thank you.
Thank you. A big hand, ladies and gentlemen. We will get the next set of questions, 3 of them. With gender sensitivity, we'll start with the lady over here. Then from the lady, we'll go to the gentleman at the back and the other gentleman at the back. Then we'll start with those 3. In the next set, we'll start with Bas.
Thank you very much. My name is Rosetta Chala, and I'm the president of ZRA Association of Manufacturers and also MP for ZAMEFA. And I also want to state that I'm a well-meaning Zambian. So when we have various views, it doesn't mean we're not well-meaning. We support. Even for the manufacturers, we didn't say don't do it. Because we knew that if you want to do it, you're going to do it. But we also said that there are various issues that we should look at, and we haven't seen it in the field. Number 1, if I look at the structure of the company, I've said at company level before I come to the sector, and when we inputted what is being suggested just for the MEFA, and we assumed exports are exempt, we assumed all direct materials are exempt, including aluminium, which I import in terms of aluminium load. What I got is a cost of 750,000 kwacha per month, which takes me to around 8.4 million kwacha a year. And my profit, net profit, when I make it, it's estimated at 9 million. It wipes out my profit. Basically, that's what it does. And we'll be able to share, even when we go to Parliament, how that happens. And if that's so, then I think we need to rethink the percentage, Honorable Minister. Our submission was that if you're going to collect a multiple, it definitely has to be below 5%. It cannot be 9%. What we get from the multiple calculation that you've given us is that the intention of government is to kill wholesalers and retailers and reintroduce manufacturers to be the end sellers of the products. Because that's the only way I'm protected. If I'm going to sell to a wholesaler, if you're going to charge me 9% and the wholesaler is charged 9%, God forbid there's another retailer, 9%, that's 27%. I'm actually not protected from the imported product. For the imported product is 16%. So we are actually asking how we are being protected if we actually remain in the structure of selling as it is today. Unless we go and open outlets and sell ourselves, then maybe that's a different story. At the minimum, Honorable Minister, the local product will be subjected to 18% and not 9%. Thirdly, we're a landlocked country, and we all understand that. We are not manufacturers of raw materials. And most of what we import is actually semi-finished product into local production. And I didn't see it there in the ban. Unless, yes, of course, you actually agree with us that this is a key input, even if it's at semi-finished product, you add it to exemption. If those goods are not going to be added to the exemption tax, your manufacturing sector is wiped out, Honorable Minister, and we want to put that on record. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll go to the gentleman on the other side. Thank you, Madam Rosetta.
Good morning. My name is Brian Chizobe. I'm a researcher from the Center for Trade Policy and Development. I was going through this booklet you have been given as regards the questions that people ask on sales tax. And one question has not been answered, which is critical. How much will it cost to transition from VAT to sales tax on the part of ZRA? Thank you.
Thank you. We will get the last question from the far end.
Good morning. My name is Kangwa Chisanga. I am a lecturer at the National Institute for Public Administration. And my question is regarding the aftermath of sales tax. It appears that sales tax has come about, or the change has come about due largely, in my analysis, to a lack of accountability on the part of our government and our governing institutions. What I have not seen in my reading of anything is a deliberate accountability mechanism regarding this money once it is going to be collected. Why I say that is that, for instance, the industry that I know best is the mining industry. You have got exploration companies. I attended a presentation by the EAZ where the Association of Exploration Companies were saying, we rely on VAT refunds because largely what we do is we want to really compare it to casino type work, where you would try something out and then if it doesn't work out, only your VAT refund will help you recoup your costs. Now that is being wiped out, and like the madam from Zamesa said, you are doing that which you desire to do. It's just how you're going about it. My question to the minister, is what accountability mechanisms are convincing for these institutions like exploration companies which rely on that? How then could you assist them and convince them that there will be some accountability regarding this money, and then there will not be a changing of goalposts once again? Thank you.
Thank you.
You cannot rely on VAT refunds to fund your business. You can't. How do you rely on VAT refund to fund your business? How? I don't understand. And that's why we have a challenge. Companies that rely on VAT refund from government to fund their business. I don't have that money. I don't. To refund you? To run your business? I don't. So those exploration, I think I'm seeing a woman. Those exploration companies must come in with a business plan that has credibility, but to fund their businesses out of exploration into business. Don't rely on government to give you refunds to fund your business. I'm sorry. We won't do it. We want how many business people that are producing manufacturing from Jamaica. We want to support those businesses that are value adding. This is why you saw us go from 35% to 15% corporate tax on those businesses that are in the mining sector and adding value. Don't come to me to ask for refund to run your business. I'm sorry, I won't do it. I won't do it. Okay, but I will support you if you are value adding. And this is why our exemption list, and gentlemen, ladies, help me through the exemption list. I may not have been exhaustive. If your business is needing an import, semi-finished or raw into your business, help me to add it to the exemption list. That's why I'm saying this tax is a hybrid. The old sales tax didn't have that. I don't want the cascade effect. I don't want the cascade effect. The cascade effect will bring inflation. I want to reduce that as much as possible. And I want to support your businesses, especially if you're value adding. I want to support you. So help me, think with me, to make sure that that exemption list is robust and it supports your businesses. That's what I want to do. Cost of transition, I'll ask ZRA to go through that. But for me, I see a zero impact, except that I have given ZRA Treasury Authority to recruit more people to make sure that they are working about and making sure that the electronic devices are actually working to make sure that we capture data, to make sure that we are monitoring effectively. And I say effectively. If they come to you and ask for money to be paid to them, please call me very quickly. Call me very quickly, because we want ZRA to be effective. And we want them to work. And if they are not working, let me know. Because this is an important transition period that we're going into. So I know right now I've approved 135 people for ZRA to make sure that they have people on the ground sharing with you and also educating you on this new system. Percentage, Zambia Association of Manufacturers. Percentage, ladies and gentlemen, if 9% is not working, I will change it. I will change it. We're in this thing together. It must work for you. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for me. Okay. So if I need to change from 9 to 8, I will do that. I want the 80, right? We have done several scenarios. We've gone from 12 right down to 3. We know the impact at each level. We know. But I have no predetermined figure. And that's why I'm talking to you. That's why I'm saying that we're in this thing together. Because it must work. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for me. So this is why we are here. So figure is a figure. Figure. You know, this is where we need to think together. And let's be realistic with one another. And let's do something that is going to work for all of us. Rajendra, can you please talk about the transition cost? Where is he? Oh, he's gone to the loo. Oh. So, can you talk about this?
Thank you very much. For the implementation of sales tax on the side of ZRA. The cost is moderate, especially in terms of additional staff, which will be given. In terms of system changes, it's not much. As you know, VAT is based on sales as well as sales tax itself. So there are minor changes to our systems. And in terms of educating the public, that also is quite minimal because the sales tax and the VAT are right on an invoice. And so in terms of the actual cost to the revenue administration is very moderate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We answered the first set of 3. We've answered the first set of 3. But we also just allow the Commissioner General to say one or two words.
Sales tax has several effects on people, but he's back.
Thank you, Minister. I'm very sure. Before I left, I dedicated to my commission. Very, very capable. I was a very wonderful team. I think I must just say that as people in the authority that are looking at these tax, you must trust us and have the confidence that we cannot deliberately, we cannot support the policy by government that will injure industry. Because we know that the only way we can grow our tax base and collect more is to have a thriving business sector. So this process, after government pronouncement that was made, as the key tax advisor to government, we've been working through the details of how best we can minimize the negative impact on the economy. So we really appreciate, as the Minister indicated, your input in the exemption list. Of course, we received the submission from the ZRA Association of Manufacturers that we have been working on. We've received submissions from other associations as well. But as the Minister said, it may not be exhaustive. So please find time to read through the detail so that you can, there is still a window to, to reduce or increase the list. As regards the actual complexion of the sales tax that we are talking about, it is very clear that this is not the sales tax that was implemented in the 1990s. And of course, it's certainly not VAT, because it doesn't have the credit mechanism. So, for you to really appreciate what we are trying to achieve, you need to work with ZRA to understand the details of how this tax will be administered. We have increased our staffing levels, and we also set up more desks, both at head office and in our service centers. Please feel free to go there and get additional information. Your input can come directly to ZRA, and we share it to the ministry, or you can submit it to the team that is working with us in the ministry. We are open to suggestions. So, Minister, that is what I wanted to say, just to assure the business community that this is not cast in concrete. Let's continue talking. If you have any suggestions of how best we can implement this, we are more than happy to take that on board. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are live on Hot FM, we are live on Power FM, we are live on Christian Voice, we are live on the national broadcaster, ZNBC, both on radio and TV, including Radio 2 and 4. At this moment, we'll go straight into the next set of questions, and we'll start with BANS, which is Bankers Association. Then we'll go to our lady over there, then the gentleman. Then from there, we will start with the other gentleman, the other side. So we start with here.
Stand up.
The consultative meeting is still going on, in case you're watching us from home.
Thank you, and good morning to you all. My name is Bernard Mwanda. I'm from the Bankers Association of Zambia. I must admit we didn't have time to look at the VAT Act and the proposed goods and sales tax. So, Honourable Minister, just some fine-tuning proposals. I'll start with interpretation. When you look at the VAT Act, it had some definition of commercial property and disbursement. This has been left out. We may need to know why. But of particular interest is the definition of the finance and operating lease. We were just wondering why this hasn't been considered, particularly that this is linked to the International Financial Reporting Standard number 16, and I think we need a bit of clarity because this is very important to the banking sector. The second issue is to do with electronic information. I think it does reflect the fact that you will be getting some information, transaction information from ZRA. But I think we need some guideline in terms of how this will be done. How are we going to get those transactions? I think we need a bit of clarity. The tax rates, we have some fine-tuning proposal. Honourable Minister, I would like to echo what Rosetta said. 9% is a little bit too high to be inflationary. if you look at a factor of 3, it will reach to a 27% tax. To me, who is buying and paying 16% currently. So whatever I'm going to buy in ShopRite will cost me 27% eventually, depending on the manufacturer, the wholesaler, and then the retailer. The other one is the issue of imported goods. If you are going to pay 16%, and if I'm an importer and a distributor, I'll add another 9% to bring the rate to 25%. However, if it goes to the retailer, it will increase the rate to 34%. That means the shirt that is imported from Turkey, eventually at the point of buying, I might end up buying it at a cost of 34 plus. So I think we need to look at that. The other issues is, I hope you did receive our submission on the exemptions. If you did it, we can send you a soft copy. We are here looking at maintaining the exemptions which were there under the VAT Act, because if you are looking at taxing banking services, it will merely raise the cost of banking, probably not in line with our financial inclusion agenda. I know the minister would like to see as many people in Zambia having access to financial services. So I think we hope that our exemption list from the VAT has been adopted as it was, probably with a few additions that we did propose. The other thing is the withholding tax issue. Our proposal is that this should be accounted on a cash basis. When the person has paid, let the agent collect, not on an accrual basis. I think we want to do with the tax agent. Banks are among the chief collectors of tax. They are currently collecting on an accrual basis. We would like this to be changed so that it's on a cash basis. The last thing, Honorable Minister, is on the issue of bad debt relief. One of the conditions given for claiming bad debt relief is that the taxable supplier should satisfy ZRA that all reasonable efforts have been made to collect the tax. In view of the foregoing, I think you should consider issuing regulations to provide guidelines as to what specifically could be deemed reasonable efforts for purposes of credit. There are other housekeeping measures we are more than glad to present to you. I think these are just fine-tuning, but I think the biggest one is on the cascading effect. Maybe you need to look at it. Our proposal is that 5% will be no such. Thank you.
5%, yeah, 5%. Let me just talk about ShopRite. And I'll give my director for budgets to respond to some of the IFRS 16 issues that we mentioned. ShopRite buy directly from South African manufacturer. They charge 16%. When the goods go into their shop, in the past, that was another 16%. Now, there'll be 9%. There'll be 8. So there was 16 and 16. Now there'll be 16 and 9. That's ShopRite. Straight away there's a reduction. So that's cascade in ShopRite. Is actually going to bring about a reduction. The cascade that I would worry about is manufacturer, wholesaler, distributor, retailer. Retailer in Kalingalinga does not make 500,000 white per annum turnover. So retailer in Baule, Kalingalinga, should not charge sales tax. They're exempt because of the threshold. So if somebody goes from Kalingalinga and goes to Trade Kings to go and buy goods, they should not charge sales tax if their turnover is below 500,000. That's what it is. And when we looked at the profiling of trade in Zambia, and we looked at the cascade, Ordinarily, Zambia breweries goes from Zambia breweries straight to ShopRite. Straight to ShopRite. If in between, there's an in between, it's maybe one distributor. But many of the manufacturers are going direct to the retailer. So I'd like to believe that the cascade effect can be managed. When it can't, of course, we need to be very mindful that there will be. But that 34% is going to be in very few circumstances. Very few circumstances. Okay. And if there's a real concern, please tell us so we can manage it. Tell us so we can manage it. Okay. Because we don't want to increase inflation because of something that we didn't do. And when I say we've looked at all these levels, we've looked at inflationary impact as well as GDP impact. Where is growth going to be impeded because of what we're doing? Where is growth going to be elevated because of what we're doing? We don't want growth to be impeded. And this is why we are talking here. If you believe there's an area where growth is going to be impeded, please let us know. Because we don't want that. We don't want that. And ShopRite now, like I said, 16% of importation, straight from manufacturer into their shop, 9%. That's what is ShopRite. Okay. Because that's the finished product, 16%, in the shop, 9%. Or 5%. But, sorry, Banonde, can you just answer to the other issue? What I'd like to say is, in terms of international best practice in financing, when we will adhere to those regulations that we need to adhere to in terms of IFRS and compliance. Banonde.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Like the previous VAT Act provided for, not everything was in the Principal Act. I think the issues of the property and how it was treated, including the treatment of leases, was something that was in the regulations. So eventually when we come to do the regulations, ZRA is going to incorporate the issues that are indicated here, particularly those that relate to finance leases and operating leases, as the case may be. So those ones will come. But however, I need to mention here that the sale of property, okay, even if it's we are dealing with a consumption tax here. However, when you sell property, there's a property transfer tax which is charged, and that one is going to continue. Okay, so because that's what is going to continue, we don't expect that when you sell a property, okay, just a one-off sale, you're going to pay the sales tax. But if you put your property on lease or you are renting out, we're going to clarify that when property is given out which is on a commercial basis, as was the case previously for VAT, that probably is going to attract sales tax. However, the normal one, the residential and the others which are not related to commercial leasing, that one is going to be exempt. Something is going to be done in that aspect. So we're looking at where are we coming from. Okay, the good side of things that were there, as was indicated in VAT, are going to be taken up. They are not going to be abandoned instantly when we move into sales tax. But some of those specific issues that have been mentioned, like I'm saying, are going to be taken care of when we come with the regulations, because the Principal Act is not the only act that is going to govern the operation of sales tax. We'll do the regulations and then the exemptions which will come later on, as has been indicated. So please take your time. We're going to capture all those as we deal with the regulations, so that the implementation of sales tax is smooth as it is going to be, because that's the intention that we want to have here. Including the aspect of bad debts. Okay, the details, the clarification that is needed on what effort needs to be put for somebody to justify that these are bad debts, that's something that we are going to get into the regulations. It's something that can be dealt with, and the minister can clarify as and when things develop in the regulations. But what is in the Principal Act
is what is going to stand. So please take your time to really look what is in the Principal Act. What you feel is missing in there, it can be taken up in the regulations, because the regulations, together with the rules that the Commissioner General will make, and the Principal Act is what is going to be used to ensure that we implement sales tax in the manner that we intend to see, for the benefit of all of us as a country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Director Budget from the Ministry of Finance. At this moment, we'll get the other questions from the other side. We had
The issue of ZRA has not been addressed, so we just ask questions to address that.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. In our normal course of business, we do interact with other regulatory bodies, especially ZRA, when it comes to taxes with the communications sector. And there's nothing more that we look for. We don't read text messages or the communication between people. For us, our focus is transactions. So that again is provided for in the Act, and also there are certain confidentiality requirements. But in terms of the submission from BAS, we really appreciate to receive those in writing in a comprehensive manner, and then we can clarify in detail. But it's very normal for the Zambia Revenue Authority to share information with ZRA, Zambia Police, with DEC. We work with all these institutions in our course of our work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will get the gentleman. And from there, one at the back.
Thank you, Honorable. My name is Joseph Chao, the president for my union of Zambia. Honorable Minister, there is ampliation in the mining industry, particularly some non-mining companies that this sales tax will actually push up their cost of production and eventually lead to job losses because of production. Now, with your clarification that this is not going to push up the cost of production as expected by the mining companies, what is your message now to the mining companies so that the issue of workers now working free can be guaranteed for the issues of pushing up all the taxes? The other question, Honorable Minister, is the mining companies depending much on the refunds to run the business. Particularly, even when it comes to paying salaries, they say the government are not refunding us. That's why the salaries are great. So I think it's a good measure that will also help government concentrate on their development agenda. So what is also the message also to the mining company so that this issue now workers can work free in this environment of job accident. Thank you.
My name is Toya Tambanikanda and I'm a tax manager at KPMG. Honourable Minister, my queries relate to two issues. I think I would echo the sentiments of the representations from Geneva and BAS. With respect to the rate of sales tax, it's seriously something you need to consider with respect to lowering it. As you mentioned in this ZRA booklet, which has been very well put together, the USA, Canada, and Malaysia have sales tax. However, in those jurisdictions, they have very strong manufacturing industries. And as you may be aware, in Malaysia, there's various rates, as well as Canada, different industries have different rates. So would you consider doing that as well here in Zambia? And secondly, I think as much as we would like to cooperate with government, certainly our intention to work together as a community, I think it's also important to consider the risks of introducing a sales tax now. Corporates will form strategy, and smaller businesses may turn to ways of doing business such as smuggling at this immediate time. So have you considered introducing sales tax next year? Why is it so pertinent that you introduce it 1st July? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, I'm Ashok Rosa from Saro, Agro. Minister, the two things. Firstly, when do we have access to the exempt lists? Secondly, Minister, you whispered that 9 equals 5. Could 16 equal something lower? It's not a riddle, Minister. It is the import sales tax. Could it be reduced?
Sorry, just repeat. Just repeat.
The import sales tax is set at 16%. As you are considering, or you are willing to consider, the reduction of the local sales tax from 9 to something lower, please consider something on the import sales tax from 16 something to something lower. But Minister, also, the exempt list, access to the exempt list as soon as possible is very important. Thank you.
Good morning.
Mr. Saro, imports that are going into manufacturing will not suffer 16%. It's the finished good that is going to suffer 16%. And this is our effort to protect local industry from series juice that comes in finished. Why am I not seeing juice manufactured locally? That's what we're trying to do. So if your imports are going into production, they will not suffer the 16%. It's a finished product that will suffer 16%. In our effort to protect and try and encourage local pineapple juice production. That's what we're doing. And this is a cry from you actually. It's a cry from you. Why are you not protecting us? Why are you not protecting us? That's what we're trying to do in this case. Okay. Why now KPMG at Ghana? KPMG. Why now? Why not next year? We announced this in 2018 on the 28th of September in my budget address. As it is, we've come from more than 6 months. More than 6 months. It's 28 months now. Okay. Should we keep the public, the business community, still guessing as what's going to happen? I don't think it's right. You want to be sure and to project 2020 there. So I'm not sure that we should keep it. It will carry on just bringing about uncertainty, which we don't want to continue doing. So now, I think it's a good time, half year. 1st of July. 1st of July. Okay. Now, I don't think that there is any merit in continuing to procrastinate on the issue of sales tax. I think it's time for us to zero in on what are the challenges, knit it up and pass it. Okay. Different rates for different industries. Yes, Canada has sales tax of sorts, America has, Australia has, Malaysia introduced it in May last year. Okay, so and there are different scenarios, obviously. The challenge we have is that our manufacturing industry needs to grow. Value-added tax was brought at a time when there was no value addition. There was no value addition. In so doing, we should keep an open mind as to how we introduce it. And I have an open mind about that. I have an open mind about that, as to whether we can do different rates for different industries. But the thing is, let's get into it. And let's refine it if we need to. But let's get into it. Let's get on with it. And refine it if we need to. Like I'm saying, I have an open mind about that. With certain industries that may need to be supported more than others. And this comes from you. It comes from you guys. It comes from you guys. And I will have an open mind about that. And the sectors that we may need to tackle in that manner. Obviously, ZRA will have to be equipped adequately to cater for the various, if we went that way, to cater for the various rates if we go that way. Because obviously that is more complicated. That's something that as we get into it, we can refine it. The 2020 budget, as I go into it, this is something that we can do. And it's up to us, you are the business community. I'm the policy maker. And I need to make policy that supports you, not policy that kills you. So, KPMG, I hear you. I hear you. There was a question on mining houses and the cost of production and their reliance on VAT refunds. You have answered your own question. Joseph, you've answered your own question. And I said it when I started. Why would anyone rely on VAT refunds to keep growing? You surely, your business should be able to support your operations. Why depend on government refunds? Why? And why should government go through this pain of refund every month? My refund is more than 1 billion every month. To be exact, it's 1.4 billion every month. That's what it is. Do I need to go through that pain? No. Let's bring about a simpler, better, faster, I sound like some bigger. Let's bring about a simpler, more efficient system that is, on a monthly basis, I'm not having to skip this night. How much refund do I have this month? It's not working. It's not working. So if it's not working, why would I continue with it? Why would I continue with it? So let's find a better way of ensuring that we can. The mining houses, in terms of the importation of capital goods and all that, I think that's an exemption list. That's not an exemption list. Okay. So there's nothing to worry about vis-a-vis their capital goods. You saw it on there. There's nothing to worry about. So why get into a refund situation? So we are getting away from that, and we're ensuring that productivity can be encouraged by the list of exemptions. That's what we're doing. By ensuring that social investment happens. So health, education, all that will be protected. We need to protect that. We need to ensure that we continue to invest in those social sectors where the vulnerable must be protected. So, all of us here, mining, manufacturing, tourism, all of us are going to be treated same. We're going to be treated in a similar fashion. You have an exempt list. If you're exempt, you're exempt. But the refund has to stop. It has to stop. It's not helping anybody. Even the small business, somebody mentioned small businesses, which I have not been able to refund. It's wrong. It's wrong. I must be able to refund you. And if I can't, there's a situation that I must address. I don't want to keep you waiting for refund for 6 months, 1 year. I don't want to do that. That's why I'm saying we look at transitional rules where we can refund you. I don't want you to think I have a refund for you and then I can't pay you. Just like I don't like domestic arrears. I owe you, I can't pay you. I don't like it. I want to pay you. I want to pay you. So I don't want to be in a situation where I'm constantly owing you money and I can't pay you. And this is why, for me, debt dismantling, one of which is a refund, is priority. Whether you're a small person supplying beans to the army, I must be able to pay you. That's why arrears are absolutely critical. That government pays. Allow me to pay you. Let me make the money to pay you. I don't like owing you money. I don't like going to the banks and putting out treasury bills and putting up interest rate, and you business people are suffering. I don't like it. I want to move away from that. Because you need interest rates that are falling, not rising because of government. No. We need to change that. And that's where I am with you. I'm with you, business people. And I'd like to believe you are going to support me in what we're doing. You're going to support me and refine and come up with something that is robust, that will stand the test of time. That's what I wish to see in this tax regime. Because it's for you. And it being for you, it means it's for me. But, CG, can you comment on smuggling?
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I think maybe just to summarize what the Minister was talking about. If it is not government money to spend, she doesn't want to collect it. If it is money that should be collected today and refunded tomorrow, she doesn't want to collect it. That's why we have those exemptions on which we are collecting VAT, but refundable VAT. So we have carefully looked at those goods that we are contributing to the refunds and removed them from the sales tax. There will be sales tax zero later. So, honestly speaking, I expected the business community, especially mining companies, to be very happy because government keeping your money, I think it's a cost. It's a cost. If government keeps your money for 3-4 months, which you are supposed to use for, for production, it's a problem. So, sales tax will ensure that money that government shouldn't collect will not be collected. Only money that government can use, to spend without thinking of refunding anyone will be collected. So in my view, it's a very good thing. Minister, there was a question on the fact that sales tax will lead to smuggling. I think we have a new way of dealing with smugglers. We changed from gear 5 to gear 6. So it's a risk. Anyone who thinks of smuggling will not stop you. But you must be prepared for the consequences. The law is very clear. Right now we released some trucks after payment of heavy fines. But we have over 30 trucks, Minister, potentially, which we shall donate to government. So when you smuggle, you lose your goods and you lose your truck. It's as simple as that. So please, continue smuggling, and we'll be happy to catch you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We will now be getting the last 3 questions for today. 1, 2, and 3, the lady over there. Consultations will continue even beyond this meeting, but we need to cross over, as in going back to, we need to cross over for our colleagues who are watching on TV. Our time is expiring at 10 o'clock. Therefore, the consultations, the submissions, we will still be able to get all the submissions from everyone. So we will get the last 3. Looking at time, we need to ensure that we limit that. Then from there, I will invite the Minister to respond to those questions together with the team from ZRA. Then lastly, I will invite Secretary to Treasury, Mr. Felton Nyamba, to give us the closing remarks. At this moment, let's get the 3 questions. We are also streaming live on Smart Eagles. In case you're a social media guru, please, you can tune in to Smart Eagles. We are streaming live from there. On Facebook, you are able to see us, and you are able to follow the deliberations. Even if you have missed out, please feel free. The beauty about Facebook is that you can rewind and play.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning, Honorable Minister, Honorable Secretary to the Treasury, Deputy Secretary to the Cabinet, Permanent Secretaries, and teams from the various ministries. My name is Okwani Chilembo. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Zambia Chamber of Mines. I would like to begin by thanking you for giving us the various assurances that the implementation of this is aimed at maintaining the large productive capacity we have presently. And actually most of the questions and concerns that the industry have actually been put across by questions that have been placed before by speakers before me. But I would like to re-ask a question that I think it's Mr. Oza who asked about when we will have the actual exemption lists. This is because, as you have clearly stated, Honorable Minister, we need to get into the devil of the detail as quickly as possible. And the issue raised by Mrs. Chabala of Zamefa about how the entire regime will actually eat into margin needs to be addressed as quickly as possible, especially for suppliers to our industry. We would like to resolve this uncertainty as soon as is possible. So if the list can be shared as quickly as possible, we can then get into the nitty-gritty of presenting specific business cases around the actual survival of the various enterprises that supply the industry, because there will be a hit on margin, as Zamefa have clearly pointed out. And we are already in the second quarter. We would like to progress this discussion to detail as soon as possible in the interest of giving more comfort to our suppliers, and especially the local suppliers who unfortunately will be quite greatly disadvantaged at the rates that have been proposed. Thank you.
The list of exemptions will be available to all after this session. Okay, so we'll put it on the ZRA website, and you can have a look at it and give us your feedback on that. Okay, it is not as exhaustive a list as we had in the VAT regime, because we have really scrutinized it and gone towards protecting local industry. So please look at it. If there's an area that you believe that we have not taken account of, let us know. Margin erosion, as Ms. Jamala has said, I think it's something that each one of you do in the normal course of business. You look at your margins and you decide how you're going to price yourself. So I can't tell you about that. I can't tell you. I'm a politician. That's what I am. So you will have to look at that margin that you are charging vis-a-vis the new tax regime and come up with a pricing that suits you. I will not prescribe on that one. I will go back and take your feedback vis-a-vis your comments on rates and stuff. I'll go back and do that. When I come back with the rate to you, the final rate, then eat it into your scenarios and come up with something that works for you. I will not prescribe what you should be charging. So, as Mr. Koza, Mr. Saro, I call him, has commented earlier about margin erosion, so has Java, so has the chamber of mines. Please, I don't want you to die. I don't want you to, if you die, I'm dead. I want you to survive. So, if I'm introducing something that's going to kill you, that is not the intention. I don't want to. These are hard times for everybody. These are hard times for everybody. So I don't want to make it harder for you. I don't. Okay. I want to make it easier, simpler, better, faster, and also I need to collect revenue. But I want to collect revenue where you are not dead. So, if there are issues that we haven't looked at that are going to kill you, please, come. I know Mark O'Donnell is coming to speak. But we are in this thing together. I'm a revenue collector. You are a revenue payer. I dare not kill you. I dare not. Okay. So I don't want to introduce anything that's going to kill. But I want you to do something that is progressive for everybody. And like the CG has said, I don't want to keep your money. I don't want to keep your money. And you don't even know when I'm going to pay you. I don't want that. I want your money to remain with you. And I just want to collect what is due to you. This is what sales tax is doing. I don't even pay interest on the money that I keep. I don't. I don't want that. I want to collect what is due to you and leave what is due to you. Mark, I'll see you tomorrow. There was another question, there was another hand.
We had two other hands that we will take. In the meantime, we will be closing off with our colleagues for TV, but we remain on radio. Those of us who are watching us live on TV, you can tune in to Radio 2 and Radio 4. We're still live as we wind up for TV. Radio 2, Radio 4, Hot FM, Smart Eagles, and other channels, we're still live. You can still continue catching us there. For those on TV, we say bye-bye, and we continue with the other channels. Thank you very much. We'll get the other questions.
Good morning, Honorable Minister. My name is Patrick from UI. I'm happy to come this close. Thank you very much. I think my first comment is really on the refund. I think to characterize the refund as a way business survives is accurate if the refunds were being paid every month, for example. But what we have is a situation where I think some of the people sitting here, their businesses were last refunded for last year. At 16%, it doesn't matter how fiscally prudent you are as a business. We have businesses that are borrowing from banks because of cash flow problems from refunds. So I think that's a significant problem that goes beyond just being irresponsible. But I think having said that, the cascading effect that you mentioned, one of the things that currently our economy is a distributor-based model. So if you look at the mines, for example, I think conservative estimates say 3 to 1. The GDP contribution of the mine, if it's 1, the ecosystem around the mine will be 3. And a lot of them are a distributor. So meaning, if we make it expensive, people change, businesses change behavior. Instead of a mine buying from somebody that has a distribution center in Kitwe, they will import directly except for emergencies. There will be jobs lost. There will be no mine wants to pay more. And that's not a mine, it's businesses. Let's take, for example, petroleum industry. Indeni brings in oil, it's at 16% if it's not on the exemption schedule. They have distributors, the OMCs. The OMCs don't sell directly, they have dealers. The dealer then sells to my tank. Meaning, at the end of the day, either the OMC decides to cut off the dealer and sell directly to preserve margin, or the price goes up. So I think the exemption schedule is not really a solution. I think a hybrid of a credit mechanism and exemption schedule will work. The exemption schedule won't solve all these problems. And I think the fear, given the definitions that we have, so for example, the bill only defines manufactured goods. If ShopRite imports Colgate from Dubai or from wherever, when they sell in the shop, is it still a manufactured good, imported manufactured good? The bill is silent. It's not clear if you have to be 16% or 9%. So there are all these issues that we need to resolve, and I think the exemption schedule at the moment is not really a solution. Your comment, Madam Minister.
Thank you.
We will get the last question immediately after the Minister's comment. Yes, we're getting the last question. Please, after this question, take note that consultations will still continue. This is just the beginning, the first. We still have a number of them lined up from SACA and all the other 9 provinces.
Thank you, Topsy. My name is Chitego Zulu, former CEO of Zambia Association of Manufacturers, and also now working with British American Tobacco, which is a manufacturing firm in Zambia. So firstly, I think I'd like to re-echo the sentiments coming in from Zambia Association of Manufacturers, the Bankers Association, Mr. Oza, and obviously the Chamber of Mines when it comes to the rate that is being applied, especially given the consideration of multiple taxation points, Honorable Minister, that 9% is really quite high. If we are looking at a two-tier system, taxing at 2 points, then 9% is more feasible. However, where we have 5, as was presented by Mr. Shuko, Director Shuko, I think it becomes quite a challenge when we're looking at the effective tax rate at the end of the chain. So we appreciate that you have stated that you are willing to reconsider that rate, and we do look forward to that 5% or less, depending on how you look at it. My additional submission, Honorable Minister, is in and around the exemption schedule. Again, I appreciate the fact that you've indicated that that will be shared with industry and the private sector at large for additional comments. But in my previous role, I think we did note we had some challenges when it came to lists and exemptions, but specifically when we're dealing with things like surtax. So my request then is that the process of developing the exemption is being even more transparent, if possible, that we have a technical working group, be it multi-sectoral, that really sits down with the ministry and goes through the exemption list prior to the point when it is finally adopted. And even beyond that point, in the event that something is missed out, that we have a mechanism that's put in place to allow for a rapid sort of amendments to the schedule, possibly if we say the first 3 months after it's enacted, that we allow for a process that allows us to go through it, what has been missed out, how do we quickly amend through a statutory instrument. Thank you.
Thank you for that very, very value-adding proposition. But we have a team that can look at the exemption list, which also is a team that is constantly and that is also objective. I think we can do that. ZRA, can we do that? Yeah, we will do that via my ministry. And just to ensure that there is the transparency that you're talking about. It's important. It's important because there have been so many pressure groups coming with. We are laughing. But there's been a lot of pressure. We need to take out that pressure and be objective. This is our country. And many countries are looking to us to see how this is going to work, this hybrid. And they're ready to jump on the bandwagon if it goes right. If it goes wrong, of course, they will not jump on it. So making it work is important. But in making it work, I think that suggestion will certainly be a welcome suggestion. The rate, I did say I'll come back to you on what I like about it is that I've been given some leeway from my cabinet colleagues to make sure that what we implement is something that's going to work for the business community. It must work for you, I keep stressing that. It doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for me. So we will come back on a final rate with you. It must be a rate that I know you don't like 9%. I like it. But I will come back to you on the rate. I've heard the cry that I should fine-tune that rate and come back to you. I'll come back to you very, very soon on that. I've taken note of that suggestion there as well, that look at the effect on the mining sector and that 1 to 3. And we will take that away, ST. Let's take that away as well and just see what that implies vis-a-vis the mining sector and the distribution network that brings with it, the tenant suppliers. We will then tend to import directly instead of using a local. To be honest, I prefer, if I could even legislate, I would, but I won't because we're a liberalized economy. If all imports by the mining sector were coming from a local supplier, I would prefer it. But we can't legislate on that. But let's make it such that if a mining company is going to import, let's make it such that our local suppliers are also efficient and they are price competitive, and also they are bringing about a service. And the mining sector will say, why would I go to Australia to import this? Why don't I use a local supplier? So it's something that we encourage, but will not legislate. With that, I think we'll go on for another hour or two, but I want to go. And I want to close by saying that this dialogue has been useful, very useful. And I'm doing this across all provinces. But let not this be the end of the dialogue. Let us continue to dialogue. Okay. Dialogue, well, I'm going back to dialogue at which, but this is a business dialogue, and I think it's important. Let us continue to talk. Please. My office is open. That of the SC is open. That of my PS budget is open. Let us, as we go into the next 2 months, before I go back to Parliament, let's use this as an important window for us to fine-tune what we're trying to bring into effect. And I need you. There is Diego Casilli here, who wants to comment. Let me get closer to you. I'm sure there's a bath this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to say that Margaret was one of my first bank managers. So we go a long way. And before that, she gave me my first investment license in Zambia. What I'd like to comment on one is that we are all in support of you. And the problem is, unfortunately, that I think there's been a miscommunication. I would like to prove it today in a little experiment. Everybody here has been listening to a lot of very interesting comments made. And I've been listening. I've got nothing more to say. I think everything that needs to be said has been said. So, if we had to be democratic and show of hands today, who would vote for the GST in this room, please? Put up your hand. I'd like to see one or two hands. Right, so as a show of hands, from what we've understood today, a very, very small percentage. Let's go to the people who are undecided. Who is undecided today about GST or that? So we have a few of those. And let's go to the ones who would want to remain with a modified VAT program. Please put up your hands. Put up your hands, don't be shy, there's no cameras there. So, I want to also be a politician today. I think the vote goes VAT. Why? Because not enough information has been provided. I'm going to give a good example. I watch Sky News every morning, and I'm terrorized by the fact that a European country like the UK has failed to deliver Brexit. Failed to deliver Brexit. Why? Because they didn't tell the population, the voters, the truth. We must understand that we need to support our government, and we need to support our Minister of Finance. But steamrolling a process which fundamentally no one here quite really knows where it's going, or understands, or has all the information, is not the right decision. However, that said, you know, I'm born a Catholic, and what I was thinking of when I was sitting here was the words that our Catholics use when we go to confession. It's called mea culpa. Somebody has to take responsibility as to why there is a problem. There is a problem. Margaret says there's less money coming in than what she needs to spend. So let's get that into perspective first and foremost. And that is related to many issues. Tax abuse, maybe the incorrect taxes, maybe the incorrect policies. But fundamentally, we haven't solved the problem by going from VAT to GST. With that said, all I'd like to comment, and I think, I do believe the Minister has a point, we need to know with certainty. You don't need 2 years of Brexit, then with stop dates and other dates and all sorts of other things. We need to know where we're going. So on that note, I think I would ask, in my personal capacity, that we take a deep breath and maybe stall the decision for a little bit longer and have serious interaction as to why government needs the GST. Now I'm going to give an example that was given just earlier. From my understanding of VAT, it's very simple. VAT should have been a tax which would have taxed the final cost of a product at 16% through a recovery mechanism. That's what it should be. Obviously, it's not working in the manner that the government wants, and that is because, I think the mining sector here said it, back there, very well spoken. He said that fundamentally the mines are using the VAT claimback to finance their perspective. Well, the solution is stop that. There's no point all of us in this room who are not mining having to pay for the cost of perspective, and it's unfair on government as well. So there are other ways to resolve this, and I think that there was where Mark O'Donnell was going earlier, and that modification of the VAT position is an option to actually take something like the VAT legislation and just all of a sudden toss it out for GST might be a Brexit decision. And all I'm saying today is that I would like our minister, because I believe in him, to maybe try and find a more moderate approach. Times are very hard, and I'm predicting very difficult times going ahead. Today, the kwacha probably is on the verge of crossing the line back over 13. It's inflation, full stop. GST with a knock-on effect of many hands handling it could, again, add on. We're not protecting the little people. GST and VAT are not how can I put it, development tools. They can never be development tools. They're consumption tax, and they should be collected and used by government for social welfare. But that being said, I think that the way government is trying to propose this needs modification. And I hope on a personal level you're not offended by my comments. I'd like to reiterate that most of the people in this room, I believe, do not really understand what government is telling us at this point in time. We need further information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Diego. And this is the value of having such gatherings and such interactions to fashion our policy going forward as a government. I did say, I don't want to kill you. I want you to survive. If you survive, I survive. And I take those comments, genuine comments from you, Diego, and from all of you today as a value added. And this is why the process of going through Parliament is first reading, second reading, committee stage, and then third reading. Because as we go towards amendment of abolition or amendment, this needs your input. And that's why today I say thank you to all of you. And I take your genuine comments on board as we go to finalize what we're going to present in the Parliament. And I would say again that please, if you have any other comments or points of clarity that you require from us, or further additions, please don't hesitate to come through to us as we go through the next 2 months. So I want to say thank you to all of you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The Minister has given the closing remarks, but before we go, allow me to just invite Secretary to Treasury to just give us a few takeaways before we leave. Just a few takeaways before we leave. Big hand for Secretary to Treasury.
Good morning once again. I just want to thank the Honorable Minister of Finance, the champions of business present here, the business associations, for what I would call a very fruitful consultative platform. Indeed, what has come out from this candid and very transparent deliberation is that as governments, like the Minister indicated, is that your contributions will receive the due attention as we finalize the bill going to Parliament. I think it's important to note that the government doesn't want to injure the business community, and more importantly, the ordinary Zambians as we try to enhance revenue collections. Two critical points have come out of these deliberations. One is the issue of the rates. Secondly is the exemption list. In the final analysis, there was also the issue to do with the mining sector, and Mr. Diego did something extraordinary to ask if we could raise our hands and cast a vote with what is supposed to happen. But if you look at what is being proposed, ladies and gentlemen, it's a modification of the VAT. So it's important that we get down and brainstorm as we continue with the consultations. So I just want to thank you most sincerely for being here present, and we'll take your contributions, clarifications with the serious attention they deserve. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have been live on Smart Eagles, that's on social media. You have been watching us live. Thank you very much, Smart Eagles. We've been live on Hot FM. Thank you very much, Hot FM. We've been live on Power FM, we've been live on Christian Voice, we've been live on a number of other radio stations. We also have been live on the national broadcaster ZNBC. At this moment, we shall invite everyone to be upstanding. As we do the last one, is the short version of the national anthem as we close. Shall we sing the national anthem once more? Stand and sing, O Zambia, proud and free, land of work and joy in unity, victors in the struggle.